this is Simon from boltonguitar.co.uk, and for this tutorial I'm going to go through Prelude Op.28 No. 7 by Chopin, and this is an arrangement by the guitarist Francisco Tarrega. It's in the key of D major with 2 sharps, F sharp and C sharp, and is in triple time or 3/4 time. In my copy it's marked as andantino, which is fairly slow. So we need to first of all get our 6th string tuned down to D. So I have to tune it down a tone, or basically 2 frets from the E. Now the way I do this, I just tune it to the 4th string open, which is an octave between the two. So that sounds pretty good to me. You can also use your electronic tuners, but once I've done that, I also then just check the other strings. So I would now check the 4th string and the 3rd string by placing the 1st finger on A on the 3rd string 2nd fret and playing the 4th string and 3rd string together. Now that's giving me a perfect 5th, or to you rock players, a power chord. And then I check the 5th string against the 3rd string A, giving me octave A's. See if they sound okay. That sounds pretty good to me. I will then check the 4th string open against the 3rd fret 2nd string D to see if they sound in tune. So those are octaves again. Sound pretty good. And then we can then place the 1st finger on the 3rd string 2nd fret, 2nd finger on the 2nd string 3rd fret, and then I place the little finger on the 1st string 5th fret, and I play those 4 strings together. That's the 4th, 3rd, 2nd and 1st. That sounds pretty good. Sounds as though it's all in tune. And then another way to check it is by half barring the first 3 strings at the 7th fret and placing the little finger on the 1st string 10th fret, and again you can play those 4 strings again. Sounds pretty good, that. You can actually play all 6 strings. That gives us a full chord of D major. Not too bad, that. Of course you can check this all with your electronic tuner, but the point being that once you've run through the tuning, double check that 6th string, because the 6th string does have a habit of, when you tune it down to within a minute or two, it contracts up in pitch, so it will go slightly out of tune, which can be quite annoying when you're halfway through playing something and find that your 6th string's suddenly gone out of tune. So then just double check that string, and again this time we can play all the 6 strings. It sounds pretty good, that. So now hopefully we should be in tune. So we're starting on the 3rd string 2nd fret A, giving us our leading note or pickup note, and then into the 1st full bar we're moving on to the 7th fret 2nd string F sharp. We're playing that along with the 5th string open, and then continue by placing the little finger on the 8th fret 2nd string G, and then on the 2nd beat we're playing a chord. We've actually got 3 of these chords to play, so we're playing a chord of A7, and you place the 1st finger on the 4th string 5th fret, the 3rd finger on the 3rd string 6th fret, and the 2nd finger on the 2nd string 5th fret, and we're playing the 3 strings, that's the 4th, 3rd and 2nd string. You play that 3 times. So we've got, follow Follow that by playing the 5th string open A. So that's the second beat of bar 2. We're now moving up to the 8th fret 2nd string G and replacing the 1st finger on the 1st string 7th fret B. Now notice we've just come from the chord. You can keep the 2nd finger on and just slide that up. That's known as a guide finger. And then we can play the B and the G together. Playing musically what we call thirds. For those who don't know much about music theory, all that means is from the low note to the note above it, the 3 notes apart. So that's G and B. Now, into bar 3, we're dropping down to the 4th fret or the 4th position. Place the 1st finger on G sharp 1st string, and the 3rd finger is now on the 6th fret 2nd string, shown as E sharp in the music. And we can play that along with the open 6th string bass note. Slide those fingers up a fret to the 5th fret, so we've got the 1st finger on the 1st string 5th fret and the 3rd finger on the 2nd string 7th fret. So that's, and then into the 7th position, we're placing the 1st finger on the 7th fret 2nd string and the little finger on the 1st string 10th fret, giving us F sharps and Ds. And we play 3 of these. Follow that by an open 4th string, and the end of bar 4, we then place the little finger on the 2nd string 7th fret F sharp and the 3rd finger on the A on the 4th string, and we play those 2 notes together. So that's the 4th string and 2nd string. So we've now got 3 chords, bass note, keep that 2nd finger on, slide it up, open 4th string, and then, and the notes we've landed on again is a common musical way of playing. We're playing these 2 notes together, which are known as sixths. Again, all it is the distance between the lower note and the upper note, the 6 notes apart. So we play that, drop those fingers, don't need to take them off, they just drop down to the 4th fret, giving us F sharp on the 4th string and D sharp on the 2nd string. And we play that with the open 5th string. Now the way I play this next bit, I play the 3rd string and 1st string open. So I'm playing, giving me time to actually get up to the 8th fret with the 2nd finger on the 2nd string G and the 9th fret on the 4th string with the 3rd finger B. And we play 3 of those, and again notice that 2nd finger stays on that string and drops to the 2nd fret. That's our guide finger dropping down to give us C sharp, and we play the 3rd string open. We play, keep the finger on that, and we're playing the 6th string, 3rd string and 2nd string now together. And then that 2nd finger moves up a fret to the D, 3rd fret, 2nd string, and the 3rd finger drops onto our 4th string, 4th fret F sharp. So that's now, keep the 2nd finger down, and then partial or half bar the 1st finger across the first 3 strings at the 2nd fret. So now that's giving us A, D and F sharp, and we play 3 of those. Then follow that by playing the open 4th string. So far we've got 3 chords, keep that 2nd finger on, slide those down, open strings, 2nd finger stays on, it's also worth noting that from bar 5 to bar 6, where we're using this sequence of 6, we can play open, keep that third finger on and just slide it up to the 9th fret. So you're going. It's important when you're playing any type of guitar, in actual fact, to try and use guide fingers. If you can keep fingers on and move them from fret to fret, it makes it more smoother and you're more accurate. So now, from bar 8, we have a little bit of a repeat, but just with a slight difference. So we're starting on the last beat of bar 8 with our A again, and bar 9 is a repeat of bar 1. 3 chords. So I'll play that again. Now, our chord now is what I do. I actually play it now with a bar with my second finger on that 3rd string 6th fret. Now, the only reason I do that is we need to get the harmonic on the 6th string 7th fret. And I just find it easier that rather than doing that, I find it easier just with the bar on. Either way really works. You might say, well, why didn't you do it that way in the first place? But earlier on, I like to be able to get a bit more vibrato on that chord, which is harder to do when you're doing a bar. But that's up to the individual play. So our last beat of bar 10. Oh, yeah, and don't forget the harmonic on the 6th string 7th fret. That's the middle note of bar 10. So we're now back to our 7th fret, thirds with the first finger on the 7th fret, first string, second finger on the G, on the 2nd string, 8th fret. So with slight repeats here. That drops to the 4th fret, then up to the 5th fret, just like we did before. Now, this is where we start heading into probably the hardest bit of the composition. We need to get up to the F sharp, which is at the 14th fret on the first string. And that is then played along with the open 4th string. So that's that. Now, we then need to play, keep the little finger down on the first string. We need to play the 12th fret, 4th string, D. Now I use the second finger on that. And this is the hardest chord in the actual composition. Keep the little finger down and we're placing the 3rd finger on the 13th fret, giving us a D sharp. And we need to stretch the finger down to the 9th fret, which is a bit of a tiny little stretch. So we're now playing the 6th string, 4th string, 2nd string and 1st string. So that might need quite a bit of practice to get that stretch. So that's so we're doing this, so it's 14th fret, the end of bar 12, the 3rd finger drops down to the 9th fret, B, and we need to do a bar across the 7th fret. So we're now playing B, 4th string. We need to place the 2nd finger on the 3rd string, 8th fret, which is a D sharp, and the 2nd string's covered with the bar. So we play 4, 3 and 2 together, and then keep the bar on. We're playing the 4th string, the 3rd string and the 2nd string, and also you've you're keeping that second finger down. Across with the second finger to the 8th fret, second string G, and the third finger goes down onto the 3rd string 9th fret E. Keep those fingers down, and we're now playing the first 3 strings. So that's the E, G and B. So that's, take the 3rd finger off to reveal our D on the 3rd string, leaving the other fingers down. So bar 13 is into bar 14. We have the first finger on the 3rd string 6th fret C sharp, the 3rd finger on the 2nd string 8th fret G, and the 2nd finger on the 1st string 7th fret B. We play that chord. Back down to the 2nd fret, 2nd string with the 2nd finger, and that's giving us G and C sharp. That's the G open, 3rd string, 2nd string C sharp. And then we're playing nice easy chord, the open 6th string, the open 3rd string G, and the open 1st string. Nearly there. 2nd finger on the 2nd string 3rd fret D, and the 3rd finger on the 4th string 4th fret F sharp. So that's, and finally back up to the 7th fret with the 1st finger 2nd string F sharp, the little finger on the 1st string 10th fret D. Play those twice, and then our final chord is the open 6th string, the open 4th string, and the 2nd and 1st string. So from bar 9 we have this, so it's partial bar to help to get that a harmonic. That's repeat, then up to this 14th fret with the little finger, D on the 4th string 2nd finger, and then our stretch, which is B, B open, D sharp and F sharp. That 3rd finger just drops down, and then up to the, so I'll just slowly run through it from the beginning. Chord, up to the 7th fret, down, up to get up to those chords, then we're into a little repeat, harmonic, up to that 14th fret, nasty little stretch, oops, dropping down, then chords, open strings, up to that 7th fret. So there we have the left hand. Now let's go over and see what the right hand's up to. So our first note, I'm playing with the index finger in a rest stroke. And I recently had a communication from somebody who wanted to know what rest strokes were. All we're doing is playing whatever string we're wanting to play and pulling the finger through so it lands on the note underneath. So that is a rest stroke, or sometimes called apoyando. So rest stroke with the index finger up to our melody note on the 2nd string, which again I'm doing as a rest stroke with the middle finger this time, followed by the next note with the 3rd finger rest stroke. So I'm playing The chord, using just 3 fingers, and you can add that nice little arpeggiated chord if you can do it, which is, again, you're playing the notes together, but you just slightly time each finger slightly out on it. So you're going, so it's, play that again. Thumb playing the bass note, and then the notes on the first 2 strings, I'm using the index and middle fingers. With the thumb obviously playing the bass. Then I'm using the index finger and 3rd fingers for the next chords, which drops down. We're playing the bass note with the thumb. Still using the 1st finger and the 3rd finger. And then up to the so that sequence is notice I'm just using the index finger and the middle finger. The index finger and the 3rd finger. Thumb, then index and middle playing the chord. 6th string with the chord, and back to I and A fingers, or 1st and 3rd fingers. Then the chord with all 3 fingers. Little arpeggiated chord if you can do it. Rest stroke. Harmonic on the 6th string at the 7th fret with the thumb. Index and middle fingers again. So now what I'm doing on that bit, as we're moving up to that 14th fret, I'm playing the bass note with the thumb, and then the 1st string with the 3rd finger as a rest stroke. Can you see? I'll see if I can get my fingers out of the way. So and same again. So I'm using the bass note with the thumb, using a little rest stroke. And then we've got our stretchy chord, which is thumb, index, middle and 3rd fingers. Chord with the thumb, 2 fingers. Then thumb, 2 fingers again. Index and middle fingers. Now the first 3 strings with the 3 fingers. Down to the 2nd fret with the left hand, and we're playing index and middle fingers. Our chord with the 3 open strings is just, I use the thumb, index finger and 3rd finger. Again, I and A, and then index and middle. You could also play those with the middle and 3rd fingers, whichever feels comfortable. And then finally our last chord is thumb, index, middle and 3rd. And again you can actually arpeggiate that chord. So drop that down, index and 3rd fingers. Repeat. And up to the high one. And there we have Frédéric Chopin's beautiful Prelude number 7. I hope this tutorial helps you to play this beautiful piece. Music and tabs are available free from my website www.boltonguitar.co.uk, and thank you for watching. Bye for now.